So the new lecture which I am going to now cover is the continuing part of research data. As it is clear from the diagram that the research data can be further classified into secondary and primary data, which can further be subdivided into qualitative data and quantitative data. The qualitative data can be obtained through exploration, whereas the quantitative data can be obtained by description and causal and effect. The description can be subdivided through surveys data, observation data, and experimental data. Let's take them one by one. The diagram shows that how marketing research data can be classified into two data, the primary and the secondary. The qualitative and quantitative research of the primary data. The qualitative research is defined as the unstructured exploratory research methodologies based on small samples which provides insights and understanding of the problem setting. Quantitative research is defined as the methodologies that tries to quantify the data and typically apply some form of statistical analysis. If we differentiate between the qualitative and quantitative research, we can find that the qualitative focuses on the gain understanding. It helps in gaining understanding. It also focuses on small number of non-representative cases. It is unstructured, it is non-statistical, and it develops an understanding at the initial point. Whereas the quantitative research focuses on a data that can be generalized. It is a large number of representative cases. It is structured and it uses statistical analysis and it recommends final action. Now let's come to various survey methods. Survey methods can use telephone method, personal method, mail method, and electronic method. Survey methods are shown how they can be conducted in this PPT. Let's see them one by one. Number one, it uses telephonic interview as one way. When personal meeting does not become possible, a researcher uses telephone to collect the information from the customers. All the necessary questions are asked through the chat. Then the other survey method is personal interviewing. Through this method, one can ask questions personally or can get the questionnaires filled up. Mail survey is the third method in which the questionnaires are got filled through sending them via mail or emails. In the recent era, surveys are also got filled through other networking websites and portals. Then comes the electronic survey. Nowadays, electronic machines have made the reach easy. So this is the fastest survey method. In this method, the survey is taken through the electronic machines and through internet connectivity. The example for this can be taken as video conferencing. Our next topic would be focus group. Who are the people from where we collect the data? A focus group is an interview conducted by a trained moderator among a small group that comprises usually between 8 to 12 people or respondents in an unstructured and natural manner. The characteristics are there are 6 to 12 people, there is a trained moderator, there is an in-depth discussion about a particular topic, the atmosphere is relaxed and informal, and the duration may be between 1 to 3. The goal of this is to learn and understand what people say and why. Focus groups are this way shown in the PPT how they work. They can first of all they plan what to do, why we are going to conduct the type of interviews in the focus group, for planning for that, then conducting and finding we are going to analyze whatever the things are coming to us and further which can help our planning process. This helps in idea generation. Also, it reveals that what consumer needs, perception and attitudes are. It also helps in structuring questionnaires. Also, the conduct of focus group will help in post-quantitative research, making the abstract real and also testing the strategies and tactics. The advantages of focus groups. It helps as a synergy. Adds as a synergy. Its spontaneity is much more. It's very speedy process. It is a secure process. It is flexible and inexpensive. Whereas the disadvantages constitute of representativeness, misjudgment, lack of analysis, and the moderator's subjectivity. We would now focus on the in-depth interview. What are the characteristics of an in-depth interview? We have two people, the trained interviewer and the interviewee. Interviewee is exposed to a set of probing questions. They are usually face-to-face. Interviewer encourages the interviewee to talk more. The goal of in-depth interviews are to collect as much as memory, attitudinal, and behavioral data from the subject. Applications. The applications of in-depth interviews are, it is interviews with professionals, interviews with witness, when detailed probing is needed, discussion on sensitive and confidential issues, when strong social norms exist, interviews with competitors. The qualitative research in in-depth interviews would have certain advantages and disadvantages. The advantages constitutes that it concentrates on maximum probing on those issues which are taken as a topic. There is a free exchange of information. It is easier to arrange, best for intimate sensitive issues. It is flexible. Whereas the disadvantage is it is expensive method, it is time consuming, it is exhausting for an interviewer. Interviewer errors can always bias the results, and respondent's bias or the reliability can be affected by his bias. Another way of collecting the primary data is through observation. Observation methods can be either structured or unstructured, disguised or undisguised, natural or continued, personal observation, mechanical observations, audit observations, content analysis and trace analysis. We'll be covering them one by one in our next slide. Thank you.